We're back at the backyard bass pond, and we've kind of been in a bit of a funk for the last couple of weeks. We lost 2 largemouth that we put in here last fall. And if you haven't really watched any of these videos before, I have a small pond here. I kind of treat it like an aquarium where I have only a handful of bass. I probably have 5 or 6 in here and a lot of bait. So I try to keep the water quality clear and low fish, high bait, and we try to grow these bass as big as we can this year. But in the last couple weeks, we did lose 2 nice largemouth bass. Still trying to sort through the comments on those videos to see what happened to those fish. But we're kind of getting into spawn season here in the spring, and I was hoping to get these bass to spawn. We could get it on film underwater. It'd be really cool. The fish farm that I bought those 3 largemouth bass from last fall was really nice. They brought me another one here on their way through the area. If you keep your receipt from the bass store, if you have bass problems, you can return it for an in-store bass credit. So this fish looks to be in pretty good shape from the travel. I'm gonna freshen up the... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That fish is in nice, healthy shape. I'm going to get my stuff ready to tag this fish. That's another nice one they brought me. All right, so the plan is to take the fish, get it on this mat, tag it, apply a tag. These are pin tags. I have a fairly inexpensive fish tagging system here, but they're numbered. So this is tag number 8. So I think we have 6 other bass that we tagged. I messed up one tag, so we lost one, but we're at tag number 8. So I'll tag it. I will take a note of the length of the fish, and then we will also weigh this fish for a base number. So that was the easy part, talking about it. Now we got to actually do this. Here we go. That's a big fish. Oh boy. He's got lots of life. Don't fly out on me. It's a very nice fish. Come here. Oh yeah. Oh, nice healthy fish. A little bit of a mark on its side. I'm gonna go left side. So we just apply the tag just below that back dorsal fin. Trigger, spin. There we go. There we go, we got the tag in. Take a quick length measurement on this fish. Get it back into the tub. That fish is, wow, 17 inch. Quick weight check, and then get this fish back in the water before we release it. And we have a nice one, 3.5 pounds, exactly. Okay, get some water, get some water. Give that fish a little bit more. Okay, we'll get that fish back in a second. I really need to replace this old notepad from all the bass we tagged. So that was 17 inch, 3.5 pounds. And we tagged that fish on the right side. One last look before this bass hits the pond. Anyone know if that's a male or a female? I never know. What do we got there? It's red, getting ready to spawn or has spawned. Red tail, see that? So we may have missed this fish, or is it ready to spawn? Enough talk, let's get this guy back in the water. Oh, looks pretty healthy. You're looking good. Hope you like it here. One last look. There's that red on the tail. I know that's spawn. Is that pre-spawn or post-spawn? I gotta look that up. A little bit of red on that underside fin, but we'll let this guy go. Hope you have a good life. That's a nice fish. Look at that guy. You gonna go? Good luck. I always wonder how much communication fish do. That bass shows up out of nowhere, and I don't know, do they like introduce themselves? Like, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? Do a little bit of feeding here. Sunfish are hungry. Minnows are hungry. So now we'll see if these other fish that I have in the pond are spawning, whether that one joins in or it's too late in the cycle for that fish. I'm not sure. Water temperatures are sort of right at that mark. What we definitely have in this pond are 2 tagged smallmouth. I don't know if they're both male or both female, but they kind of swim around together still. I haven't seen anything on a nest. I know smallmouth's a little bit more difficult to get to spawn in a pond. And I also have 3 now largemouth with that one that we threw in tagged for sure. There could be a couple extras. In the early days of the pond stocking, if you watch those videos, I mean, this pond was just, it was dug. There was nothing here but just this low, wet field. So absolutely nothing in this pond. I brought everything into this pond from pretty much minnow traps in the early days. In that minnow trap was a tiny 2-inch smallmouth bass. And that was my favorite bass I ever had. It was almost trained to follow me around the pond when it would see me in those early videos. I could flip it a minnow. It would eat everything I put in the pond. I was just doing 1 minnow trap, so I could barely keep up to that 1 smallmouth bass. It went from 2 inches to about 8 inches in the first year, which up here in the north is pretty good. It was a smart fish. It was an aggressive fish. I caught it twice, and then I have not seen that fish for a year and a half. So one of my goals this year is to see that fish again, if it's actually here. There's a very good chance that fish has been either caught by an osprey, which we have osprey flying over all the time, and I've also seen otters in this pond. That fish did get smart after I caught it. It's like it didn't trust me as much. I kind of regretted catching it because it was not as tame. It wouldn't follow me around like a dog. So we're kind of a low chance of a smallmouth spawn, I think. But maybe there's something going on there. I'm gonna send all my cameras down now, float them around, see what's down there on these nice sunny days. The largemouth, we've got the numbers there, 3. You know, what's the chances of having a male and female in 3? It's pretty good. They're all mature enough. Whether they like the pond and are comfortable enough in this pond to spawn, then that's a different story. I'm going to try and get some underwater video. It's really hard to get these bass on video. The sunfish, they are just super curious. They come up and they'll tap on the camera. They're not shy at all. So I'm going to send 2 cameras in today on the float. Just let them blow around in the wind. See if we can find anything interesting. Bass came out of this Christmas tree down here and swam across towards the bobber when it hit the water. I don't know if it was curious or scared, but those bass are definitely pretty smart there. They're a little bit tricky to get on camera. I'll try and get the other camera down on this end of the pond. This is a flatter end of the pond. We also put those 4 rock piles in here, so maybe there's something you know, hanging out around there. And as we approach a rock pile, of course, there's a rock bass defending a nest. There's definitely a reason they're called rock bass. Thanks for watching this one.